Tom Cruise is literally the last real alpha male left in Hollywood. I don't think there are any more alpha males left in Hollywood. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below, because most of these actors and celebrities will act alpha in their movies, but in real life they're completely beta, they're complete pussies, they're not congruent with their characters or who they project themselves to be on screen. I've seen it over and over. You guys have sent me a number of these guys, and each one of them I've been able to find articles, social media posts, interviews where they have backed feminism. Some of them even, I think it was like The Rock, because some guys are like, oh, The Rock's alpha. This dude is literally claiming he's a male feminist. He literally says, I'm a male feminist and I support women. I support women. We need to support women and all this stuff. No, this guy always kind of like rubbed me the wrong way anyway. There was always something about him that was kind of off, and I couldn't really put my finger on it, but there was always something about him I didn't like, and that's probably it, because I could sniff that out a mile away. Just the dude's incongruence. Yeah, he lifts weights, big guy, looks intimidating, wrestled, but at the end of the day, his own words, he's a male feminist. And in my book, that means that you're selling out your brothers, you're selling out the patriarchy, you want to see a matriarchy come in, you are basically, basically propagandizing evil. Right, so he let me down, though I was never a fan. Also, too, Stallone recently. I still love Rocky IV. I'm still going to watch it, but he was like recently supporting some judge, some leftist, feminist judge. I don't know why he showed up to that event, but it's things like that just put me off. I'm like, okay, he's gone. Arnold. Love Arnold movies still gonna watch those old ones, but he was on during the pandemic talking about screw your freedoms, so he lost his alpha male status in my mind when he did that, when he said that, rather. And most of them, right? Daniel Craig's supposed to be Bond, be this alpha male Bond. He's like James Bond, tough guy, and then turns out the guy's like wearing a dress and some PSA talking about how men need to understand what it's like to be a woman in heels and dress and put on all this makeup. It's like, what are you doing? You sell out? Why are you doing this? Not to mention he like turned over the role to a female Bond, and nobody's happy about that. So yeah, they've all let me down. But you know who hasn't? Maverick. Tom Cruise, man. Tom Cruise has not let me down. The only I don't even know, how to say this, but the only thing that I don't agree with him on is the Scientology, right? Hey, that works for him. Whatever, dude. I'm not converting to any of that, right? But dudes into the Scientology, I'm not. I'm Catholic. It's not my thing. However, if we're just talking beyond religion, straight alpha, this guy has got it. This is a guy who does his own stunts in his movies. He was literally there in the back of the plane in Top Gun. Also, Mission Impossible, when he's like, dude's climbing this like rock, this mountain. Dude's doing that stunt. He's his own stuntman. It's just, and this guy is not like a 22-year-old kid. This guy is like 10 years older than I am, and he's almost like closing in on 60 practically, right? And he's still out there doing it, riding motorcycles in Top Gun and friggin' flying fighter planes. Just being an alpha dude. He just made probably the absolute best sequel that I've ever seen in movie history, right? Top Gun 2 Maverick. That is probably the best sequel I've seen. I have not seen a better sequel. Have you? Some might try to compare Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Not a bad movie. I did enjoy the Terminator 2, but I think equally I enjoyed Terminator 1. So with Top Gun 2, it's kind of the same thing. I love Top Gun 1. I can't say which one is better, because the first one is pretty nostalgic. I was in high school when that came out. I really love that movie. Wanted to go to Naval Academy because of that movie. My buddy ended up going to Naval Academy and was there to learn to fly jets. So yeah, I really envied him for that, because he was going totally Top Gun. And Then Top Gun 2 came out, and it's just equally as good, if not better. And I think I relate to both movies, because the first one came out, he was younger in that one, I was younger, and now he's older, I'm older, and he's playing that age. He's playing a guy who refuses to stop being a fighter pilot. He doesn't want to teach. He's just a pilot. They're like, hey, you know what, Mav? You could have been a 2-star admiral by now. But instead, here you are, captain. Still flying planes. And he's like, that's what I am. That's who I am. That's what he told Iceman in the movie. Second one. Spoiler. Right? He told Iceman, it's who I am. It's what I am. I can't change it. Right? And it was very kind of moving, because I relate to that, right? Being like, being older, right? He's like 10 years, he's a decade older than me, but still, I relate to that, being older, as most guys do, especially part of Gen X. Like, you relate to that, or even younger guys, because they're like, they know they're headed there, right? You could be in your 30s and you'll relate to that, right? You're gonna eventually be there too. So yeah, I definitely relate to that. I mean, it's definitely, especially like with the pickup artistry and everything else, and everyone's like, oh dude, should retire and all this and hang it up and all this, and it's like, what am I gonna do? I mean, I could run my businesses and live on a beach and really do nothing for the rest of my life, but I need to keep doing something. I feel like I reached a level where I'm just so, not to pat myself on the back, but I've become so good at it that I don't want to give that up. I enjoy engaging in something that I feel like I've mastered, right? And teaching that to others. So I don't feel like there's something else, that I really want to do, and so anyway, watching his movies, watching Top Gun 2 and some of his other movies, Jack Reacher, was that the other one? Reacher, Mission Impossible. This dude is really the last real alpha male that Hollywood has. I don't know of any others on the horizon. You could point them out in the comments, but before you do, make sure you Google them to see if they've done anything that is anti-patriarchal, anything that is anti-masculine, if they said any statements, if they're hashtagging, women's rights and all this and equal pay. No, all bets are off. They lose that status, man. Okay, they lose that status because now they're just going along with the crowd. I mean, no matter what side of the fence you're on. I mean, now they're just kind of selling out, as most of these Hollywood betas do, pretending to be alpha. They're just sellouts, right? All of them, sellouts. Rock, who's that other? Bond. All of them, sellouts, right? They don't hold their frame. So he's probably the last one. Oh, Clint Eastwood, right? Clint Eastwood. We're about to lose Clint Eastwood at some point. But Clint Eastwood has stood his ground the whole time. So yeah, Clint Eastwood deserves that status. There's probably a couple more on my mind. But I mean, the main one's Tom Cruise right now, because he just literally produced one of the best sequels in movie history in a long time without a bunch of wokeness, right? Without a bunch of wokeness. There's a little bit of political correctness in there. I mean, like, really, come on, dude. I mean, like, the Top Gun pilots, to me, look like a salad bar of different ethnicities, right? I mean, I'm not trying to offend anybody, but it just looked like, come on, I mean, can we just limit it a little bit? Yeah, I mean, I'm like, it's fine, I get it. You're trying to do the multicultural checklist, but it's a little too forced, and that's what I don't like, or when things are forced, right? I don't want to see things that are forced, because then it takes you out of the illusion of the movie, and that's what I'm paying for. I'm paying for that escape, that 2-hour escape. So there's a little political correctness in there. I'm sure there was a little bit of arm twisting, but really that was about it. Oh, there was one female pilot at Top Gun. The problem with that is I didn't really buy her flying an F-18. I would not look at her and go, hey, I bet she could friggin' Top Gun fly F-18s. No. I mean, maybe she could be a pilot, but I would not see her flying fighter jets. And then he chose her. So that's a little bit of political correctness I wasn't down with. He chose her to go on the mission with him, to back him up. That would not be in reality who somebody would choose. I would definitely not have chose her if I was going on that mission to go bomb that place. I would not chose her, and I definitely would not have chose Rooster because he was constantly questioning himself. I would not chose either of them. I probably would have taken one person with me, and that one person would have been Hangman. And they're always like, oh, he's hanging out to dry. Well, clearly he didn't, because he came back and he shot down that, spoiler alert, he shot down the fighter, or the plane that was about to fire a rocket at them, right? So he saved them. But I would have taken that dude. That would have been my pick. The wannabe Iceman guy, the cocky guy. I would have been like, me and Hangman. Everybody else stay back, ready to go. But right now, I don't need any of you except for these two, right? Just me and Hangman. That's it. I would not have taken the chick. But again, that was part of the political correctness. I don't know if I would consider that so much wokeness, but that was definitely some PC. Some political correctness there. And then also I think it was like a little overboard. I mean, like they had an Asian fighter pilot in there, and why is his call sign Yale? Because he went to Yale. What are you trying to say? Like only Asians go to Yale? I mean, so I was like, one of those moments, right? But either way, not to get off track, Tom Cruise is the last real alpha male that Hollywood has. Okay, besides Clint Eastwood, that I can see just wanting to produce movies, okay, wanting to produce good movies that people will want to watch and giving people their money's worth. I mean, he himself, he could have just sat back, let the FX department take care of all of the cinematography and not actually get back behind the plane and pull G's. He could have just sat back there, but he didn't. He was like, nope, I'm gonna give you guys real G's. We're going to be really in these planes, we're going to be really going out there and doing this stuff. Put these actors through pilot training and all this other stuff that was, dangerous. I mean, they could have lost their lives if one of these planes crashed, right? But he put them all through that because he wants to give the viewer that experience. He wants to be as real as possible, right? And obviously not all of it was, some of it was CG'd, okay? Some of it was CG'd, but not like most movies, not like these superhero, like these BS superhero movies that a lot of you guys watch. I mean, those are like mostly CG. I mean, these actors don't even lift weights for those roles. But you saw Tom Cruise on the beach, right? Playing beach football, just like he was 30 years ago when he was playing beach volleyball with Iceman. So I mean, it's really great to see that he's actually out there doing it. He's putting in the work. He doesn't have to. He's a zillionaire. He doesn't need the money, but he wants to give you that experience. Okay, and also you go to his social media. He's not promoting like, any activist causes, or he doesn't get involved in that stuff, right? And I understand he says it's part of his religion, which is a great excuse. Oh, my religion doesn't let me get involved in this activism, right? So he keeps it off of him, he keeps it off of his social media and doesn't talk about it because he knows that does not put seats in the movie theater. That, that empties seats. People don't want to hear that, right? People go to movies for an escape, not to get a lecture. And that's what I appreciate about this movie. This was the first movie that I saw, that I chose to go to, that I was crossing my fingers, right? Because the last movie I saw in a movie theater was in 2010. I literally have not been to a theater in 12 years. That movie was Expendables with Sylvester Stallone. Yeah, I'm like trying to squeeze in like a fish over here. So yeah, Expendables was the last one. And after that, all the movies went super woke. And I was like, I don't want to pay or watch anything else or get lectured. And so when Top Gun came out, I had to make an exception. I'm like, gotta make an exception. It's Top Gun. Please don't have any wokeness. Please don't lecture me. And you know what? They didn't let me down. They didn't lecture me. A little bit of PC, like I said, right? But there was no lecturing. There was no, here's the message that we want to send you off with today, that no matter who you are, you don't have to feel oppressed. Everybody loves you. No, there was none of that. It was just focused around Tom Cruise being Maverick, flying a friggin' plane and bombing someplace that was evil, and that was trying to create these nuclear warheads or something, and him just showcasing his skill as a lifelong fighter pilot, right? Something that he was good at, the only thing that he really knew. And I really appreciated that. I really loved that movie, and it really made me made my respect level for Tom Cruise go up, right? I'm like, this dude is the last real alpha male, the last real movie star left in Hollywood. I don't really see any more, again, beyond, like, you know, Clint Eastwood, but he's not really making those type of movies anymore. However, Tom unapologetically made this movie, and I'm sure they're trying to twist his arm to put in some more wokeness, man. Come on, can't we have a gay fighter pilot? Can't we have a fighter pilot that's like LGBT? Is that Tom? Do you hate gay people, Tom? You know, they start with a hyperbole. Tom, are you transphobic? Do you have something wrong with them? Maybe we need to cancel you. You know, no, he was like, no, I don't get involved in that. I just want to make Top Gun, leave me alone. And of course he had Bruckheimer behind this. Jerry Bruckheimer is probably one of the last alpha male producers, speaking of alpha males, one of the last alpha male producers left in Hollywood, where this guy is like Tom. He just wants to make good movies. Please don't knock on my door asking me to put in like a trans character or a non-binary character or a gender fluid character, add them to the script. Please don't ask me to do that. I just want to make a good film. Right? If you want to make a film about that, go make that film. But that's not the film we're making. We're making Top Gun 2. People are coming to see Mav. That's what they want to see. Let's give them that. Oh, and wow, guess what? Top Gun is breaking all sorts of box office records. Who would have thought? Right? They're making all sorts of money. See what happens when you give the audience what they want? Probably would have made more if they removed the ounce of political correctness they have in it. Probably would have made more. But those are just my thoughts. Tom Cruise's last real alpha male in Hollywood changed my mind. If there's anybody else I've missed, guys, that you think is alpha, again, make sure you Google them before you leave them in the comments. Let me know below, and we'll check them out, right? Drop your comments below. What about Russell Crowe? Maybe Russell Crowe? I don't know. Drop your comments below. Anybody I might have missed, anybody you'd like to add. But make sure to do the check, right? Do the Google check. Until next time, this is Matt Cross from AlphaMaleSecrets signing out. Don't forget to smash that like button below. Also hit the notification bell right next to it so you're notified whenever I release a brand new coaching video here on the YouTube. More importantly, guys, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. Helps me out a ton when you actually subscribe to my AlphaMaleSecrets channel. I've been checking my analytics, man, and too many of you guys are still not yet subscribed to the AlphaMaleSecrets channel here on the YouTube. So please make sure you're subscribed as well. Helps me out with the YouTube algorithm, and you know, just help a brother out and subscribe. And for you guys who love my work and all of this amazing content I'm teaching you here on the AlphaMaleSecrets, the best way to support my work is becoming a premium member of my premium AlphaMaleSecrets channel, which I am hosting on a private platform away from YouTube. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm protecting my content from YouTube in the event they try to shut me down one day. They won't be able to, because all my content will be protected. It is being protected on my private platform. So this is the absolute best way to support my work, is becoming a premium AlphaMaleSecrets subscriber on my premium AlphaMaleSecrets channel, which is being hosted on a private platform. Right now it's only $1 for the entire first month of premium AlphaMaleSecrets content from me. So take advantage of it. Okay, all you need to do is click the link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. It just takes 2 seconds. So do that now, and I will see you in my next coaching video. I'm out.